previous time I gave you 15 tips to help you be a better SnowRunner player. This time I'm going to give you 10 pro tips to help you reach the next level and become a pro SnowRunner player. Okay, starting with the first tip. Stop signs from spawning. I have told you that if you go to another region or if you close the game and come back, you would reset the map. So the mod and everything in the map is going to get reset. But I'm gonna give you a tip that is the opposite of that. So when you go to another region, the map gets reset, but not every part of the map. The area around your vehicles remains the same. There is a chance that you have noticed this if you took a break when you were farming. So if you take a break when you're farming and you come back to the game, you see that the field is divided into two areas. An area where the mod got reset and the area that is still the same. You can use this trick to stop those signs or annoying things on the road from spawning. Simply just destroy them. You can easily do that with your horn and just park a vehicle near that area. You can use a scout or some truck that you never use. If you do that, the next time you come back to that area, no signs or anything is going to spawn. Alright, the next tip. Neutral when you're towing another vehicle. I'm sure this happened to most of the people when you wanted to tow another vehicle, especially a vehicle that is not that fast, with a truck that is fast and has a powerful engine, but at the end of the day, you're not even going that fast. To go faster while towing another vehicle, put the vehicle that you wanna tow in neutral. This would allow you to go faster, but keep in mind that if you turn on the engine of that truck, the truck would automatically go to auto gears and you no longer would go fast. So if you're on some nice road, keep that truck in neutral, but when you're in deep mud, turn on the engine and use the help of that truck too. Alright, the next tip. Take your water everywhere. When first the water thing was added to the game, the water in your water tank would have disappeared if you closed the game or if you went to another region or map. But now it's not like that, and even if you recover your truck that has water and retain it and go to another region, the water would still remain in your water tank. The only way that the water would disappear is if you change the add-on of your truck and you get out of the garage. Otherwise, the water would always be in the water tank. So if in a region, the delivery location is near your garage, but the water tower is very far, you can go to another region that the water tower is near the garage, fill up your water tank, and go to the other region and deliver the water very fast. Okay, the next tip. I have talked about unpacking the cargo and I've said it's very effective, but it's really effective when you're unpacking logs. Logs are very heavy and make your truck a bit tippy, so unpacking them would solve that problem. You don't need to always have the logs unpacked. You can have the logs packed on the truck, but when you're about to drive on some uneven road that you think there is a chance of tipping over, you can unpack the logs to avoid tipping over. Or if you're stuck in some mud, you can unpack the logs to help your truck even more. And this works with any type of log in the game, short, medium, or long logs. Alright, the next tip is car on cargo. In a SnowRunner, you can easily pack a truck or even a trailer on top of your cargo without any trouble. This would allow you to have more extra fuel and repair parts. So if you think for your trip you need more fuel, you can put a small scout on your cargo, a scout like 4x4, and have access to more fuel. And you're not gonna face any issues when you're delivering the cargo. The car would simply just drop on the flatbed and you simply need to unpack and pack the car again. After that, you're safe to go. Okay, the next tip is counterbalancing. Now, what does it mean? How you can use that? You can use a cargo that you're carrying to counterbalance and avoid tipping over. Simply have the cargo with your crane in the opposite direction of where your truck is leaning to. So if your truck is leaning to right, have the cargo and the crane to the left. In this case, you would improve the stability of your truck a lot, and in those areas that you need to drive on some angled roads, this trick would help you to avoid tipping over. You can do this trick without the cargo with the crane only too, but I think it's more effective with the cargo. But a crane like this yellow one is good enough too. Alright, for the next tip, are chain tires good for snow? Well, the snow in a SnowRunner is pretty much like mud, especially that snow that is a bit deep and it's like a powder. And for mud or those type of snow, mud tires are actually better. So in a snowy regions, it's actually better to use mud tires. Chain tires are only good on ice. But the thing is, if you go for chain tires and only think about the icy parts of the road, you would sacrifice some of the performance of your truck in snow. And mostly going through snow, especially deep snow, is way harder than driving on ice without chain tires. But there are some exceptions too. Sometimes you can't go up a hill without chain tires on icy roads. So for those areas, you can always stick to the side and find some grip and go up the hill. But if there is no side of the road and you just have to drive on ice, you can have a truck with chain tires only for that part of the map and use that truck kinda like a ferry and get your other truck up that hill. And you can have a fuel carrier add-on on that truck to use that truck as a portable fuel station too. Now for the next tip, I want to talk about advanced special gearbox in a SnowRunner. To keep it short, in a SnowRunner with like normal off-road gearboxes, turning on the all-wheel drive would increase the truck's fuel consumption rate. But there is no difference between all-wheel drive on or off when you have the advanced special gearbox. So if you have this gearbox on your truck, just leave the all-wheel drive always on because there is no difference between all-wheel drive on or off. And I believe a special gearbox and multi-purpose gearboxes are the same too. Now for the next tip, we have anchors, the true last hope. In very rare situations, when your truck is on its side and you cannot turn on the engine and you can't use your winch or crane, there is one thing that you can still use, and that's the anchor of your crane. Even when the engine is off, you can still use these anchors. And sometimes the power of these anchors are enough to push your truck just a bit in order to turn on the engine. So if you were in this situation, keep in mind that your anchors could help too. And the last tip is gears to numpad. If you're using mouse and keyboard and you're looking for a faster way to change gears, then you can bind the gears to the keys of your keyboard. And it's better to use the numpad for the gears. The way I use it is I have auto on 5, low on 4, low plus on 7, low minus on 1, neutral on 6, high on 8, and reverse on 2. So I kinda created the same pattern on the numpad. And when you have the gears like this, you don't even need to use the clutch. You just need to press the gears and that's it. It's a very fast and quick way of changing gears. And that's it for today's video. I see you in the next one.